Hello, Vita. Good morning. Today we are discussing about your second book, your second chapter, The Enemy. Introduction of the chapter. The story highlights how a Japanese doctor saves the life of an American prisoner of war and rises above narrow national feelings. He risked his honor, career, position, and life by sheltering a war prisoner of the enemy camp and saving his life. The author has beautifully portrayed means represent the conflict in the doctor's mind as a private individual and as a citizen with a sense of national loyalty. Okay, setting up the story takes place on the coastal town of Japan in the year 1941 when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. A war going on between America and Japan. Japanese were hostile to the Americans and ready to kill any American found in their soil. Okay, theme of the chapter. The enemy gives the message that humanism transcends all man-made prejudice and barriers. Dr. Sadao upload the ethics of medical profession in treating an enemy. The story is a great lesson of peace, love, sympathy, fellow feeling, and humanism. Okay, beta. Main characters are that we are already discussed. First one, Dr. Sadao Hockey, a Japanese doctor trained by Americans. Second, Sadao's father, much concerned about his school's education, a true patriot. Third one, Hana, a wife of Dr. Sadao, met in America, became friends and got married in Japan. Fourth one, Tom, an American prisoner of war, a soldier of US Navy. Fifth one, the old journal, a sick Japanese army journal, needed an operation, trusted only Dr. Sadao. Sixth one, an officer, a messenger of the journal. Next one, gardener, an old gardener in the house of Dr. Sadao. Yummy, Hana's maid servant, the cook, an old cook in the house of Dr. Sadao. Place where we set this story, house of Dr. Sadao, a house built on a narrow beach near the sea. Okay, and then we are discussing the summary of the chapter. Sadao was a Japanese surgeon. He studied in America and returned with Hana, a Japanese girl whom he met there and married her in Japan and settled down comfortably. While most of the doctors were sent to serve the Japanese army in the World War II, Sadao was allowed to stay home because he was wanted by the old journal who was dying. But one night into his uneventful life came an American Navyman, shot, wounded, and dying. Though unwilling to help his enemy, Sadao took the young soldiers into his house and provided him with medical aid. He was in a danger from that moment. Soon his servant left him. Dr. Sadao saw that the soldiers was getting well and absolutely alright. Once his patient was no more in need of him, the doctor turned out to be his assassin, conspiring to kill him in his sleep. He informed the journal of the American, and the journal promised he would send his private men to kill the Americans. Now awaited the American's death every morning, and out to his gloom, the man was still alive, healthier, posing danger to him. At this point, Sadao becomes the real man in him, a true human being who realizes the essential worth of human life and universal brotherhood. He thinks beyond countries and continents and races and wars. He finds no reason to believe that American is his enemy. Thou rescues the American, thus thou rises our narrow prejudice and act in a truly humanitarian way. Gist of the lesson. First one. Now a Japanese surgeon finds a wounded American soldier on the beach of near his house. Second thing, he is unable to throw him back, though he was his enemy, as he was a doctor and his first duty was to save a life. Third one, Hannah, his wife, though initially reluctant because it was dangerous for all, including the children, to keep the enemy in the house, joins her husband in operating and nursing the enemy soldiers back to health, even though the servants desert the house. Hannah assists Dr. Sadao in operating the soldier in spite of her physical discomfort and agitation. Next one, though it was wartime and all hands were needed at the front, the general did not send Dr. Sadao with the troops as he is an expert surgeon and the general needed him. Next one, Sadao tells him about the enemy soldier, but he does not take any action as he is self-absorbed and forgets his promise that he would send his private assassin to kill the enemy and remove his body. Taking advantage of the general's self-observation, Sadao decides to save the soldier's life. After the soldier is out of danger, Dr. Sadao helps him to escape from his house to safely. Okay, thank you. This is your revision lecture of your lecture, The Enemy. You should prepare your lesson for test on Wednesday. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.